The International Roller Skating League presents Major League Bank Track Skating Competition from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. Today, it's the Bay Bombers versus the Red Devils. Hello, I'm Don Drury. Along with me, my colleague Ken Monty. We're in the first skating period of this game. Just getting underway with 6 minutes and 35 seconds now remaining in the first period. The Red Devils lead 5-1 over the Bay Bombers. Ken, we're going to pick up a play-by-play, and then there will probably be a timeout called. But it's an exciting game, and it's been an exciting series between these two clubs.
The Red Devils are just a tremendous team, which you'll soon find out, and the Bombers are going to have their hands full.
Jammers are out moving on the play. Judy McGuire, 35, along with 37, Carol Peanuts-Meyer. Rita Williams is wearing the number 29 jersey, and Jackie Garillo is number 25. Garillo going after Meyer, most to the inside over the block. Rides her high. McGuire goes for the lead. Back to the inside. Williams coming up. A block to Peanuts-Meyer. All four Jammers out moving on the play. Good blocking back and forth. Good action on that jam. McGuire being slowed down. Williams moves up to the lead position. Meyer being slowed down. Williams takes over the lead on that jam. Garillo hit back. McGuire comes in with a key block again, rides Williams high. Meyer and Garillo take off in the lead of the jam. Secondary Jammers have dropped a long ways back, almost into the pack. These Jammers moving along. Garillo going for the lead on that jam, and it's Peanuts-Meyer right behind her. Calvello and Weston back on defense for the respective teams. Weston, a barrage of blocks in there. Calvello swinging away with a high elbow blocks into Peanuts-Meyer. Meyer trying to find her way through. Tucker trying to help her out. Here comes McGuire slipping up. McGuire goes to the outside and scores. There was one Bay Bomber point picked up by Judy McGuire.
Well, that's where the old cliche comes in, never say die, and that's just what Judy McGuire did not do. She went down, and like before, you said you're a long way back, so she came right on through and scored a point for the Bombers.
So the score, 5 for the Red Devils, 2 for the Bay Bombers, and a timeout being called on the track. Don Drury, Ken Monty back calling the action here in the first skating period. This game coming your way from Kezar Pavilion. Ken, another tremendous crowd out here at Kezar. Thousands of fans again. Here's the lineup for the Red Devils. Women's captain Ann Calvello, 23. Jackie Garillo wearing 25. Monica Kosanovich, 24. Kathy Bowes, 21. Darian Abden, 26. Dolores Holmes, 28. And Rita Williams, 29. Powerful Red Devil lineup. Here's the Bomber lineup. Dolores Tucker's 34, Wilma Ryan, a rookie, 36, Carol Peanuts-Meyer, 37, Terry Lewis, 31, Judy McGuire, 35, and women's captain, 38 is Joan Weston. Let's pick up the action on the jam now. 34, Dolores Tucker is out of the packet as your lead potential scorer. She's being followed by a young rookie, Terry Abden, number 26. Abden moves forward. Tucker comes back. There's the experience, puts her down. Good shoulder block on the play. Dolores Holmes comes in with a block, number 28, putting down Terry Lewis in the rear of the pack. She's back up, but she can't score. The only one that can score right now is 34, Tucker. She's out of the jam, and Abden also can score. She's for the Red Devils. Jammers moving into scoring position at the rear of the pack. Tucker again looking to rid herself of the opposition before she attempts to move in on the defensive skater. Holmes at the rear. Jammer moving up again. Tucker trying to make a break to the inside. Jam called off. There was no score. Time running out. Jam wasn't actually called off. They just ran out of time.
That's true. Tucker was being outnumbered on that play, and it seems like the other Bomber skater was being in trouble, being held back, and time ran out with no score, so the score remains 5 for the Red Devils and 2 for the Bombers.
There's a big man, Tony Smith. You know, we've commented about the bigness of the Chief team in the past. Tony Smith is no slouch either. He's a big man really coming into his own, and between him and Cal Stevens, they just about control everybody.
They sure control the boys' field on the Red Devils, that's for sure. And like that's youth involved there too, because you don't know how many years involved there.
And Calvello back out of the penalty box. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in the first skating period. Jammers up and out. Tucker again is on the move. This time Dolores Holmes comes out with a pivot helmet on. She was last season's Rookie of the Year in the women's field, and Ann Calvello is really using her to all of her advantage. Holmes gets moved into the rail by the experience of Dolores Tucker. And the Bombers now the only jammer on the move. Tucker putting on a burst of speed, closing in on the rear of the pack. She's got a lot of time left to go. And Calvello back on defense. Now sends Holmes back. A double block being formed. Tucker backs off, tries to dive her way through the middle of a double block. Stopped back there by Calvello and by Holmes. Calvello pounding forearm blocks back into the head of Tucker. Weston dropping back on the assist. Johnny Weston back to lead the way. Still that double block remains. Tucker moves forward, slowing down. Tucker reaching back. There's a whip. Weston takes the whip. Reverse whip to the outside. Tucker getting by Holmes, trying to beat out Calvello. Shoulder block thrown in. Weston still looking to assist. Tucker dumped by Calvello, and the jam called off. There was one Bay Bomber point scored. One Bay Bomber point scored. We're going to take a look at this again as the Red Devils lead 5-3. There's Ian Calvello and Joan Weston up on the rail. I think we're going to see this again. Kid, pick up the action.
Here it comes. You'll see Tucker back there coming in on the rear of the pack. Weston dropping back, and you got Holmes and Calvello forming a double block. You'll see Tucker reach back, whip Weston. Weston will spin around, pull Tucker around the outside of Holmes, and she doesn't get clear by Calvello. And Calvello will move up and knock her down. That's the reason why they only got 1 point over passing Holmes and not Calvello.
All right, Ken, we're back with 45 seconds remaining here in the first skating period. We want to remind the fans along the network, you're watching the first half this week, you'll be seeing the second half next week. There's Charlie O'Connell. He's out with a serious eye injury, but he's coaching from the infield. And we hope to have Charlie back very, very shortly. Got a standing ovation as he came out to that track, Ken.
It's understandable and well-deserved.
Mr. Roller Derby, they call him. Jammers are out and moving on the play. Red Devils have the lead jammer. Jackie Garillo moving on this play. Bombers unable to break anybody out. Now Joan Weston coming out with a pivot helmet on, but she's a long ways back. Garillo is already moving into scoring position. She's got little Rita Williams back to help her out. Only 10 seconds remaining. A double block formed by Peanuts Meyer and Judy McGuire. Weston also coming up. Time in the period. The jam starting to run out. They have 4, 3, 2, 1 on the clock. It's over. And time ran out. Whoa, skaters running into the rail. Time ran out before Weston could get by. Garillo hit back into her own teammates. No score. So with a timeout being called at the end of the first period, the Red Devils lead 5-3 over the Bay Bombers. Don Drury, Ken Monty back calling the action. Men just taking the track now. We're in the second skating period. And you can see all the way around, Ken, the tremendous support the Bay Bombers have had. Look at the thousands of fans out here at Kezar Pavilion today to watch the Bay Bombers. And it's been a rough series. Bombers lead 1 game over the Red Devils, 3-2 in this series. Red Devils have just broken the first jammer out. Chris Keenan, number 28 on the move. Bombers looking for somebody. They've got James Paul out and number 37, Tony Roman. Rookie Rob Medelson is also out, but there's your lead jammer. That's Chris Keenan. Bill Grohl, Cal Stevens dropping back to do the defensive work for the respective clubs. Grohl comes over the block. Keenan stopped to the outside. Stevens belts away into James Paul as he tries to score to the outside. Grohl high elbow block back. Medelson picked off. Again, Stevens working away. Leg block back into James Paul. Stops him from scoring. Sends him up along the rail. Ball coming off the rail. Grohl set and waiting again at the rear of the pack. Jammers move forward. High elbow blocks thrown back in there. Grohl stays right with him. And skaters spun around, taken down. There is a penalty on Tony Smith. Jammer still going to the outside. I believe Tony Roman to be the lead jammer. Power play Bombers. Bombers score! The official ruling, 2 on the pass, 1 on the penalty of Tony Smith, the illegal blocking, a total of 3 Bay Bomber points, 2 scored by Roman, 1 by Paul. We'll take a look at this again, Ken.
All right, and there's a welcome sight. Here he comes. You'll see Smith going to work on James Paul there, pounding away at him. And Tony Roman all the time is way back in the picture, and here comes Paul back in again on... that isn't Smith there. That's Cal Stevens.
That's Cal Stevens.
Yeah.
Smith will spin around up in the
That's
back.
Right.
There he is.
There's Smith there going to work on him. He picked up 1 minute penalty on that. In the meantime, you see there comes Tony Roman and Bill Grohl right away picks him up.
Along
they
with
move
Cliff
to
Butler.
on the inside.
And
Cliff
Butler also coming up with that good team effort. They were all looking back. We're back live. There's Tony Roman down there, number 37. He's been with the Bay Bombers for many, many seasons. His wife, of course, Carol Peanuts Meyer, and she was 1959 Rookie of the Year with the Bay Bombers. Jammers are up and out. 9 minutes, 28 seconds left to go. Larry Lee and Dynamite Mike Gammon are on the move. Gammon takes a sharp elbow block. It's right back down. Coming into the bomb return. Out of the straightaway. Gammon back with another block. Lee scrambling right back up now. Lee back with a block. Gammon sent flying into that rail. And Lee, the only jammer out moving. Gammon is back up. Grohl has been driven into the rail by Cal Stevens. Power play by Brooklyn. Lee cuts it off. Lee cuts it off. There were a total of 3 Red Devil points scored on the play. The Red Devils jump back up into the lead. They'll lead 8-6 over the Bay Bombers now.
There's a good shot of Larry Lee. good young skater, very aggressive, fast. Him and Mike Gammon, the two of them get on a jam. It's an excitement in itself, which the jam you just saw. And it just goes to show that those rails are not padded as well as you think they are, and they hurt, especially when Gammon and both Groh were put in it on the last period, on the last play.
8-6, the Red Devils lead by 2. 8 minutes, 33 seconds remaining here in the second period. We want to remind the fans watching this game that this telecast is strictly for the enjoyment of our viewing audience. Any other use or reproduction of this broadcast without the expressed written permission of the International Roller Skating League is strictly prohibited. Good pack action going on as the Jammers have broken out on the play. 34 is James Paul. He's followed by 28, Chris Keenan of the Brooklyn Red Devils. Bombers, of course, in the brown and orange, darker of the jerseys and without the names on them if you're watching in black and white. The Red Devils, of course, in the red and yellow jerseys. Jammers coming in. Bill Grohl and Tony Smith back on defense for the respective teams. Smith comes in. Forearm blocks back to Paul. Shoulder block. Drives Paul high. Slams him up into the rail. Both skaters spinning around. Grohl back there as Keenan moves forward. Both Jammers can score at the rear of that pack. Again, those blocks come up. Grohl moves up. Smith taken out of the way. Jam called off.
Great play there by Bill Grohl moving up on the inside. And there's James Paul, number 34, the bomber that scored the play. You know, when I first started skating against James Paul, which is not too many years ago, I was he cannot be intimidated. The kid keeps coming in, and he's hard to put off his feet, and he's just a great skater, and the Bombers are very fortunate to have a skater like that on their team.
As Charlie O'Connell was mentioning during one telecast, the biggest thing they've got to watch with James Paul is his temper.
Yeah, he's a little short. There he is sitting next to Tony Roman. Tony Roman, 37, James Paul, number 34.
Seven minutes remaining here in the second period. 8-7. Red Devils continue to lead by 1. Back being reorganized. Whistle sounds. Jammers up and out. Number 32, Mike Chump on the move of the Bay Bombers. Rookie picked up this season. Comes from a skating family. His mother and father skated for you for many years. They've just retired.
Yeah, Joe Chump and Jerry Abatello.
Red Devils finally getting a jammer out. It's Earl Pearson in pursuit. They're double teaming a skater at the rear of the pack. It is a bomber being double teamed, hit back, taken down. Red Devil jammer now takes the lead. It's Earl Pearson. He's trying to score. Mallory moved out of the way. And the jammer going through. The jam called off by number 24, Pearson. There were 2 Red Devil points picked up on the play. 1 Bay Bomber point scored by Chump. 2 Red Devil points picked up on the play. 1 Bomber point picked up. There's also a penalty, number 27, Cal Stevens. So with a timeout being called, the Red Devils lead 10-8 over the Bay Bombers. Don Drury, Ken Monty back calling the action. We're in the second skating period of this game coming your way from Kezar Pavilion. The Red Devils lead 10-8 over the Bay Bombers. 5 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the period. Back is form, whistle sounds. Jammers breaking out. Number 37, Tony Roman on the move for the Bay Bombers. Red Devils looking to get somebody out, but the Bombers in control at the front of that pack with Coach Cal Stevens in the penalty box. They're skating shorthanded, only 4 skaters. Red Devils finally bring a jammer loose. Chris Keenan, he's about a half a lap behind a fast-moving Tony Roman. Jammer moving in on the rear of the pack. Cliff Butler back to assist, back to lead the way. Larry Lee sent back to do the blocking for the Red Devils. Here comes Roman through the Bay Bomber turn. Lee drops back, shoulder block, stops Roman from scoring to the outside. Hits him with another one. Roman trying to make his way up by number 21, Larry Lee. Another shoulder block, elbow block, rides him high. Coming out of the turn down the straightaway. Butler also looking to assist. Cliff Butler reaching back. Roman squats low inside. And Roman cuts it off. One more. Bay Bomber point picked up. Tony Roman scoring the assist of Cliff Butler.
Tremendous skating by Cliff Butler, and there's Tony Roman who picked up the 1 point for the Bombers, and he does a tremendous job in moving through on the inside. We're coming up on a replay here, and there's Cal Stevens coming out of the penalty box. All right, there's Tony Roman coming in the rear of the pack.
Larry Lee back there coming in with good solid blocks.
Good solid blocks. And then you see Cliff Butler dropping back. The Red Devil skater, he'll get rid of him and then move up to give the assist for Tony Roman. You can see him moving into your picture now. He'll reach back, whip him through on the inside. Tony Roman squats down low, moves through for 1 point. Picks up 1 Bomber point.
We're back live as the action is happening right here in the building. Larry Lee going out of the jam, followed out by number 35, Mike Gammon on the move. Gammon quickly moves to the inside. Good shoulder block. These two have been going at it throughout this entire series. Lee slipping in a turn. Gammon is around the outside. The agility of Mike Gammon sustaining over the block thrown back there. Now Coach Cal Stevens back on defense for the Red Devils. Quite a difference in size here. Gammon trying to slow Cal Stevens down, trying to back him up. Gammon now starting to dig in. Stevens caught behind the 20-foot rule. He's got to move up the block. Stevens driving and slips, goes down. Gammon still on the move. Grohl trying to lead the way for Gammon. Gammon coming up on the red and back. Lee back to the blocking. Grohl reaching back. There's a whip. Gammon squats low inside. Still going, trying to fight for additional Bay Bomber points. And Gammon still on that move. Skater slipping going down. Stevens back up there. Gammon slammed into the rail by Stevens. There is a penalty, Cal Stevens. And time of the jam is over. Gammon shaken up. The official ruling, there was 1 point on the pass, or 3 points on the pass, 1 on the penalty to Stevens, a total of 4 Bay Bomber points.
Here we're coming up on the replay, Don, and there you see Gammon moving around the outside of Cal Stevens. He gets Cal Stevens in the perfect spot because Gammon's got a tremendous takeoff. Cal Stevens can't throw a block, loses his balance, falls on his face. Even looking Gammon skate away from Grohl, and Grohl's doing his darndest trying to catch up to give him an assist. He moves around the outside. Grohl gives him a whip on the inside of Larry Lee. They set up another skater. He moves to on the inside. Another assist by Grohl. Grohl moves to on the inside, and finally he'll come back up to Cal Stevens. Cal Stevens, I think, is doing this more out of frustration than meanness, because he just made a fool out of him. And there we are back live. They picked up 4 points on that play. Picks the Bombers 13-10 and over the Red Devils.
A minute, 45 seconds remaining in the period. Bombers break the first jammer out on top again. 34, James Ball. And off a whip, Vince Captain Tony Smith coming out in pursuit. Smith out with a pivot helmet on. He's now an eligible scorer. Jammer starts to play first, and pivot skater can then go out and score. Pivot skater wears that solid black helmet. Ball taken down. Shoulder block thrown from the outside by Tony Smith. Bill Grohl breaking late with a pivot helmet on. He's acting coach in the absence of O'Connell, who's out with that eye injury. We saw him down in the infield in the first period. And they're going to work on a skater up in that back. Skater put down. Lee comes in with a block. Another Bomber moved out of the way. Smith calls it off. There were 2 Red Devil points picked up by Tony Smith. And the Bomber lead cut to 1, 13-12, 58 seconds remaining in the period.
There's Tony Roman again in your picture. Just tremendous skating by the Red Devils on that particular jam, both offensive and defensively. And it's unusual on one jam to see both pivot skaters out, both Tony Smith wearing a pivot helmet and being chased by Bill Grohl. It's something you don't see too often. And then Cal Stevens naturally coming in the rear of the pack and leading his man in for 2 points for the Red Devils.
Back being reorganized. Only 28 seconds remaining here in the period. Jammer out, number 35, Mike Gammon is on the move. Gammon is that lead jammer. Redelson coming out. Here's 35. Gammon picking up the pace. He knows the time is against him. Grohl going to work on Stevens in the rear of that pack. Billy Grohl coming back. Gammon moving in. Stevens gets away. Red Devil jammer moving up. Gammon makes a bid to the outside. Is hit back. Slowed down by Stevens. About 4 seconds left to go in the period. Gammon hit back again, and time in the period jam running out. Time in the period jam running out. And Grohl and Stevens spinning around. Skaters down. And Grohl is up. Stevens spinning around. So the score at the end of a fast and furious second period. The Bay Bombers 13, the Red Devils 12. Will be breaking right now. A timeout called. Kid Monty back calling the action here at Kezar Pavilion. We're in the third skating period. Women on the track right now. The Bombers lead 13-12 as the women have just taken over. Jammers are out moving on the play. 34 is Dolores Tucker, and it is number 28, Dolores Holmes, out for the Brooklyn Red Devils. Holmes comes up, high elbow block into the head of Dolores Tucker, takes over the lead on that jam. Jammer is going along. Secondary Jammer's also on the play. Tucker, good forearm block, back with an elbow block. Holmes staggered off balance, but she stays up. Tucker comes back with another one. Holmes belted again. Elbow block coming out of the turn. Shoulder block. Holmes put down. Good combination of blocks in there, Kenny.
Beautiful blocking. You notice how Tucker didn't let her alone either. Once she got her off balance, she even waited on her to make sure she'd get rid of her. And that's the sign of a good skater.
The Bay Bombers now have the only jammer out moving on the play. It is Holmes back on defense at the rear. Weston trying to get back to help out, being kept forward by Ann Calvello. There's another block thrown in by Dolores Holmes.
Holmes blocking out on on Tucker. Tucker moving back in. There's Holmes putting a good shoulder on the outside. Another good shoulder. Puts on Tucker. That's a tremendous job by a young skater of Holmes.
Well, Ann Calvello's got a lot of confidence in that young skater.
I don't know. There's a little bit of a debate there. She's given her an awful lot to do in a very short length of time, Don.
Joan Weston shaking up on the play. Down on the infield. She's a great one. Been around for many, many seasons. 13-12. The Bay Bombers remain on top by 1 over the Brooklyn Red Devils. 9 minutes, 35 seconds remaining here in the period. This, of course, the third skating period. We remind the fans along the network you'll be watching the second half of this game next week at this regularly scheduled time on this same station. There's a shot of the tremendous crowd out here again, Ken.
Well, I'll tell you what, they sure come out to see their Bombers, don't they? And they root them on home. It's just a tremendous feeling when you skate here, especially if you're in a Bomber uniform.
Jam around moving. 37, Carol Peanuts-Meyer out along with 35, Judy McGuire. 29, Rita Williams out for the Brooklyn Red Devils. She's out number 2-1. Two of the great Bay Bomber jammers out moving on this play. Williams has got her work cut out for her. She's got to try and grab the lead, place her hands on her hips to cut that jam off. Red Devils down by 1. That would be the obvious thing to do. All three skaters at the rear of the pack. Bomber jammers taken down. Red Devils trying to open up the door. Williams trying to squeeze through on the inside. Calvello still trying to lead skaters up there. Williams trying to move up, looks back, cuts it off as Bomber jammers were coming up again. There were 2 Red Devil points scored on the play. 2 Red Devil points picked up on that play. 14-13. The Red Devils jump up into the lead by 1 over the Bay Bombers here in the third period.
And Calvello was caught for blocking after the jam, and the referee immediately pointed her to a 1-minute penalty. Go sit in the infield. The Red Devils will be skating shorthanded. One girl sitting in the box for the period of one minute.
Look, here we want to remind the fans along the network, if they would like to write to the Bay Bombers, get information on any home games going on, the place to write to is the Bay Bombers, P.O. Box 7979, San Francisco, California, 94120. It's Bay Bombers, P.O. Box 7979, San Francisco, California. Back is formed. Jammers up and out. Calvello in the penalty box. Bombers with the advantage, 5-4 on the track. It's Terry Lewis, 31, on the move of the Bay Bombers. Holmes coming out with a jammer's helmet. Boy, she's been blocking, jamming, everything. I've got to give this girl a lot of credit.
Boy, you ain't kidding for a second-year skater, Don. You have to take your hat off to her. She's got the ability, she can just follow through with it.
Lewis giving a whip to Dolores Tucker, who takes over the lead on the jam. And Tucker again waits for Holmes, and now sees the time starting to run away. And Holmes catches up, comes up with the blocks from the outside, back to the inside. Jammers trying to work their way in. Calvello returns. Her penalty time is up. She'll be back there. Joan Weston dropping back to do the blocking for the Bay Bombers. 28. Holmes is the one that can score. Weston set. Holmes moves forward. Tucker comes back with a block. She drops back. High elbow block. Looked like it caught her in the mouth. Tucker, low elbow block. Back into the midsection. Unwinds another elbow. Tucker coming back. Pounding the blocks in. Holmes taken down. And time in the jam running out. It's over. And Holmes catches an extra shot from Tucker, and that's where it starts.
That's all it takes, is that one extra push, and it happens.
A timeout being called on the track, with the Red Devils leading 14-13 over the Bay Bombers. Don Drury, Ken Money back calling the action. Calvello and Weston battling in that back. Calvello and Weston going to it. Jammer Bombers breaking out, but that's the action. Both women's captains back and forth. Calvello with a leg block into Joni Weston. Out of the turn, down the straightaway. Calvello back with another one. Another leg block into the midsection. Weston shaking up and is down. Red Devil Jammer coming up. Rita Williams going through, calls it off. There is one Red Devil point scored on the play. There's a shot again of the tremendous crowd out here, and they're not too happy about the way that point was picked up, kid.
No, they're not too happy with Calvello, and especially going to work on Weston, who's one of the probably all-time favorites of the Bay Bombers. And anytime you do anything to Weston or Charlie O'Connell, you're going to hear it from the fans.
15-13, the Red Devils on top by 2 here in the third skating period. Back being reorganized. Weston shaking up and staying in that lineup. Holmes and Tucker returning, both teams back to full strength. They did pick up penalties the jam prior on the confrontation afterwards. Jammers are out. There's some jammers looking to move. Phoenix Meyer, 35, Judy McGuire, and Jackie Garillo also out. She's moving for the Red Devils, number 25. Garillo out, number 2-1, trying to grab the lead on the jam. The Bombers crisscrossing back and forth, keeping her back there. She almost had the lead right there. I think I would have placed my hands on my hips just even if I was in doubt.
I would have too.
Jammers coming up. Skaters go around the outside and inside. Bomber Jammers have scored. They cut it off. There were 4 Bay Bomber points picked up on the play. 4 Bay Bomber points picked up on the play. McGuire and Meyer scoring over Holmes and Calvello. Again, I think we're going to see this again.
Yeah, just tremendous effort by the Bombers. You'll see them moving out. You'll see the Pioneer skater trapped in between them. They're moving around the outside. They both squat around the inside and outside. They each pick up 2 points apiece, place their hands on the hips. A total of 4 points for the Bombers. 2 by McGuire, 2 by Peanuts.
Roman Meyer?
McGuire and Meyer. Sounds like a portable act.
Yes, it does. 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the third skating period. Bombers have jumped back into the lead by 2, 17-15.
There's the 2 girls that just did the scoring. 35, Judy McGuire. 37,
Judy McGuire out of Peekskill, New York.
Yeah.
Broke in with the Chiefs in, I believe, 1958.
Yeah, I remember when I think I discussed this once before. She was very impressive the first day she ever stepped on the track, and she's been impressive ever since then.
Back being reorganized. Pivot skaters must be at the front. They wear the solid black helmets. Blockers must be in the middle. They wear the solid colored team helmets. Jammers wear the striped helmets. They must be at the rear. When the pack is formed, the whistle sounds. The jammers then work their way through the pack. Once a jammer gets in front of the pack, the whistle sounds again. The jammer then has 60 seconds to lap the field. For each opposing skater lapped and passed within that 60 seconds, they receive 1 point. Any jammer or pivot skater breaking out after the first jammer started to play has the remaining time on that jam. Jam called off. There was a heads-up play by Holmes. She was out number 2-1, took the lead on the play, and quickly cut it off. Smart move.
It's funny how you watch her after every jam, how much she impresses you. Holmes, I'm talking about. She didn't hesitate. She used her head. She didn't worry, try to outskate or nothing. She just automatically did the most natural thing, basic fundamental skating. Place her hands on the hips, cut the jam off, wait for a better advantage.
That's right. You're trailing by 2 points. You don't want to give anybody an advantage, especially somebody like Judy McGuire, who we just talked about, who was on that play. 1 minute, 45 seconds remaining here in the third period. 17-15. Bombers remain on top by 2. Weston comes up with a block to Calvello, front of the pack, reaches back a whip, and McGuire, 3rd jam in a row. Jackie Garillo coming out, Rita Williams, 37, Carol Peanuts Meyer, 4 potential scorers out, moving on the play. Meyer moves to the inside with a cross-arm block to Rita Williams as McGuire is hit back by Jackie Garillo. And Calvello coming out with a pivot helmet on. She's also an eligible scorer now. Garillo gives her a whip. She takes off with the lead of that jam. Weston catching a whip and is in pursuit of Ann Calvello. Joni Weston trying to close the gap. Here comes Weston and Calvello, the 2 women's captains pouring it on. Weston to the inside, back with a block. Calvello off balance, stays up, but she's lost ground. Weston moving on the rear. Bombers working on Red Devils. Weston inside, calls it off. 2 more Bay Bomber points scored. This time it was Joan Weston. 50 seconds left to go in the period.
Tremendous skating both by Weston and Calvello. It's funny, it just happened to dawn on me what a play like that used to be called. It used to be called a sleeper. You'd try and get 2, if there was a 2 and 2 out from each team, you'd try and get your 3rd skater out and it could call that a sleeper. Here you come, Weston. You see her coming up behind Ann Cavello, put a block on her. She didn't really knock her down, but she hit her hard enough to slow her down. In the meantime, the M&M twins, Myers and McGuire, go to work, pick up 2 points.
Yes, they did. M&M twins. I haven't heard that before. 19-15. The Bay Bombers on top by 4 points. Minter getting ready to take over the field as the pack is being formed, but there's not much time remaining. And Weston has been belted up in that pack, spinning around. Weston and Calvello. The time has run out. So with a timeout being called, the score at the end of the third period, the Bay Bombers 19, the Brooklyn Red Devils 15. Don Drury, Ken Monty back calling the action. We're in the fourth skating period of this game. First half of this game coming away from Kezar Pavilion between the Bay Bombers and the Brooklyn Red Devils. Men have just taken the field for the fourth period. And the Bombers lead 19-15 over the Red Devils. James Paul, 34, is out for the Bay Bombers along with 24, Earl Pearson for the Brooklyn Red Devils. Good jamming going on. Good blocking on the jam. Elbow block, Paul belted back. Jammers moving in. It'll be Stevens and Grohl back on defense at the rear. Paul makes a bid to the outside. Carried back by Stevens. Grohl set back. Good leg block thrown in. Both of these jammers having a tough time. There's a block thrown back by Stevens. Paul driven up along into the rail. Jammers trying to fight their way around. Paul makes another bid. Good solid shoulder block back there by Stevens again. Grohl rides the Red Devil jammer over the rail. Now Grohl looking to assist. Stevens rides the skater back. Grohl sends that skater over the rail again. Stevens back with a block. Paul stopped. Pearson moves forward, belted back. Grohl doing the heavy work now. Elbow block thrown back in there. And Paul put down. Time and the jam runs out. There is no score, and helmets are off up in a turn. There's James Paul shaking up.
You know, it's quite a contrast in blocking on this. It's you had Bill Grohl, who's strictly blocking with his shoulder and his elbow to the body, and you've got Cal Stevens, who's a headhunter. He's hitting the man in the head every chance he gets. And I don't know, I sort of go with Grohl's type of blocking. I believe, he put his man over his rail twice. He gets more body and more elbow into it by going to the body than they are going after the head.
19-15. Bay Bombers remain on top by a total of 4 points over the Brooklyn Red Devils. 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. Pack is being reorganized. Jammers have alternated. Fresh blood in there to do the jamming now.
Boy, you sure need it in this game, I'll tell you that.
Tony Roman off a whip, starts the jam. Bay Bombers. Red Devils looking to get somebody out. Thus far, unsuccessful. Now Larry Lee breaks out, long ways back. There's your lead jammer, 37, Tony Roman. Lee taking long strides, trying to close that gap. You can see him closing in on Tony Roman. Lee comes up. Roman with a block from the outside. Lee off balance. Wasn't expecting that one. Went flying into the rail, but Roman's got his work cut out now. Coach Cal Stevens back to do the blocking. Roman moves forward, shoulder block, back by Stevens, sits him back, slows him down. Stevens set and waiting again. Roman comes up, another block, again thrown back. Stevens giving a close eye. Gammon dropping back on the assist. Roman hit, put down. Gammon back up. Roman takes another whip from Gammon, again put down by Stevens. Big man in the rear of the pack. Gammon makes the bid now. Gammon trying to go to the outside. Roman is the one who can score inside.
Oh, beautiful!
Gammon put him to the rail, but Roman scored. One Bay Bomber point.
Deception plus. Oh!
Again, we're going to take a look at this again.
Oh, this is
a happy Tony Roman and Mike Gammon up there.
Here you see him. Here you see Tony Roman coming in. Cal Stevens doing a block and hits him back. There's Gammon, gives him a whip, knocks down him. Gammon comes back up, gives him another whip. Tony Roman comes in again, knocked down. Here you see a reverse, a double reverse. Gammon moves around the outside. He thinks he's got Roman. Roman moves to on the inside. Deception plus. Beautifully set up. Go ahead, Don.
We're back live with the action. 20-15. Bay Bombers have jumped up to a 5-point lead. 8 minutes, 12 seconds remaining here in the first half. Back being reorganized. Pivot skaters go to the front. Blockers in the middle, jammers in the rear. The whistle is sounded and the offensive jammers are now eligible to make their way forward and try and start the play. Tony Smith with a whip. Pearson out, along with Chris Keenan. Red Devils get a double scoring threat out. Bombers looking to get a jammer out. Finally, they get out number 34. James Paul on the play, but the Red Devil Jammers have got the lead. Grohl has got his work cut out. He's got double duty blocked in the rear as the Red Devil Jammers move up. Ball closing the gap. Stevens yelling instructions back there, and Keenan drops off to try and slow down Paul as Grohl goes to work on Pearson, drives him up into the rail. Pearson moving up again, trying to score. Stevens dropping back on the assist. Grohl, good shoulder block, sends him up into the rail again. Stevens yelling again, instructions back on that play. Now Stevens looking to assist, moves up, misses the block to Grohl, doesn't take. Secondary jammer slowing down a bomber jammer, another bomber jammer. Ronnie Turbin coming up, Turbin trying to go through. Jam called off. The official decision, there were 2 points each way. Red Devils scoring 2 by Pearson and 2 by Ronnie Turbin.
Pearson, I think, got a little hungry.
Should have cut that jam off, and Coach
right.
Cal Stevens is a little upset right now.
Now Pearson should have cut it off. Ronnie Turpin, he just slid through for 2 points, so the score remains a difference of 5 points with the Bombers on top, 22-17 over the Red Devils.
People always ask about the score, Ken. They say, well, how can it stay so close? Well, there's a perfect example. Both teams scored at the same time.
That's right. Nobody picks up an advantage, especially if somebody is sleeping.
It's not like in football where one team can only score at one time, or baseball, you know,
Very
it's
true.
offense and defense at the same time, and it makes it tough. 6 minutes, 25 seconds remaining. Here in the first half, Jammer's up, whoa, around the outside. Gammon starts the play, but he slides out in the turn. So the Red Devils send out their pivot skater, who is at the front of the pack, Tony Smith. Gammon is back up and moving again. Butler is also coming up. Gammon with a whip, and Butler is on the move. Butler closing out after Tony Smith. The pivot skaters are doing the jamming chores. Butler coming up, jump block. Red Devils now without a jammer on the play. The pivot skater, number 36, Cliff Butler, is moving with the Bay Bombers. Red Devils without anybody out. Bombers already on top by 5 points. Tony Smith dropping back on defense for the Red Devils. Butler moves in. Elbow block to the outside. Smith catches him with a leg block. Forearm block back to the head. Skater dropping back on the rail to assist is number 38, men's captain Bill Grohl. Grohl looking to assist on this jam. Grohl reaching back a whip, and Butler spots low and scored 1. Still going. Stevens in with a block, puts him down. Butler back up, calls it off. There was 1 Bomber point on the play. Bill Grohl the assist. Butler scoring, and a timeout called on the track. With the Bombers leading 23-17, a timeout call. Don Drury, Ken Monty back calling the action. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here in the first half of this game from Kezar Pavilion. The Bombers lead 23-17 over the Brooklyn Red Devils. Rough, powerful game. Both teams really feeling their oats today.
You know, the way they set up that last play at the beginning, it was just beautiful, Don, for the simple reason that Gammon started the play, but he slipped and fell. And then not only that, Tony Smith got on top. Go ahead, Don, I'll bring this up later.
All right, as the pack is formed, the whistle sounds, and with a jammer's helmet on, the coach of the Brooklyn Red Devils, number 27, Cal Stevens. He's a big man, but he can fly out there when he gets going, and he's hard to stop. Bill Grohl coming out on the whip after Stevens. Grohl with a lot of speed, almost sliding out the turn. Grohl trying to close that gap. There's Stevens with a lead. You can see Grohl digging in behind. Pack being bunched up by the Brooklyn Red Devils. Stevens yelling instructions as he moves into score position. Power play, Brooklyn. Stevens scores. And the official decision, there were 4 Red Devil points picked up by the coach, Cal Stevens. There he is, 1969 Roller Derby Rookie of the Year.
And he's a big man and he can fly. We're going to come up with a replay now, and we'll give you a general idea of how this man moves. Here he is, Stevens telling his team, get it together, and Bill Grohl trying to hustle after him. But meantime, Cal Stevens, he just keeps right on going. Bombers can't do a thing about it. Red Devils put it together. 4 points for the Red Devils.
Bomber lead, cut to 2, 23-21. 3 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the half. Well, I'll tell you, the second half has really got to be something. They're just starting out fast and furious here.
This is like a long pass downfield, like on the last play. You see it coming, but there's nothing you can do about it. The man catches it, runs for a touchdown. That's what Cal Stevens did. Go ahead, Don.
Mike Gammon out, moving on the jam. 24, Earl Pearson for the Red Devils. 1-1 on the play. Gammon slowing down Pearson, rides it back, hits him with a shoulder block. Secondary jammers are also out. Bomber jammer Tony Roman taken down. Gammon is now out, number 2-1. Gammon caught off guard. Hit, put down. Red Devils going for the lead. Lee coming up. Pearson. Stevens has got a skater pinned up. Puts him into the rail. And the jam called off. There were 4 more Red Devil points scored. 2 by Lee, 2 by Pearson. That'll put the Red Devils up on top by 2, 25-23, and how quickly the tide changes.
You ain't kidding, Don. And that's one thing. The Red Devils what they're showing is complete team effort. No one person is doing it all themselves. They're operating as a team. By this man you see right here on the picture, number 27, Cal Steven. He's putting it together for not just him himself, but I mean, he's got control of his team, and they're doing just as he commands.
There's another guy to learn from you.
Oh, without a doubt. He's picked up a lot from me, and it seems like he's using it to great prevail.
Now there was a perfect example. You always said after you got a good skater and they moved, they always went to another team. He started with the Bay Bombers and then went to your team.
Well, then he became a good skater. Got to win out some of the time,
Jammer out moving. James Paul, minute 35 seconds left to go in the first half. Paul is on the move for the Bay Bombers. 25, rookie Rob Medelson on the move. Blocking going on up in that pack. Stevens and Grohl battling back and forth. Jammer's moving in a scoring position. There's a jump block thrown by Ron Turbin. Takes down the Red Devil Jammer. Tony Smith doing the blocking on James Paul. Grohl looking to assist. Grohl backing off. And Paul looking for the right move. Grohl coming up. Slows him down again. They're looking to make the most of this movement right here. Grohl starts crisscrossing. Back to the inside, comes up on a drive. Smith being hit. Moved high along that track. Butler reaching back a whip. Paul moves in and cuts the play off. There was one Bay Bomber point picked up by James Paul. That makes the score the Red Devils 25, the Bay Bombers 24.
Seems like there's a little confusion on that. I don't know. Either James Paul might have been hurt a little bit.
There are 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. Remember, the last jam in each half, if started, runs the full 60 seconds. Regardless of the time on the scoreboard clock. It's the last jam in each half only. We want to remind the fans along the network that directly following this half, we'll be speaking with one of the top stars in an interview. So be sure and stay tuned for that. Mike Gammon, number 35, out moving on the play. Larry Lee out moving. Tony Roman on the move. Pearson out. Roman sends both Red Devil Jammers back into each other. And Gammon is on the move. Gammon and Roman coming up. Stevens with double duty blocking George in the rear. And he's got two of the fastest men in the league to try and contend with. Gammon moves up, jumps high. Back to the outside. Roman belted back. Gammon hit back. Stevens all over the place. Tremendous job of blocking by Cal Stevens of the Brooklyn Red Devils. Two of the league's top scorers trying to beat out this tremendous coach at the rear net back. Stevens with a block puts them both down. Gammon back up, digging it again. Roman is right there with him. Gammon coming up to the outside. Roman to the inside. Three skaters side by side. That is Grohl. The Bombers have scored and are still going. And time in the jam running out. The official decision, there were a total of 4 Bay Bomber points scored. 2 by Roman, 2 by Gammon. 4 Bay Bomber points. We're going to take a look at this again, kid.
Oh, this is just tremendous skating by Roman, by Gammon. Look at this here. You see Cal Stevens blocking him. He's doing a tremendous job of holding out these two super skaters, super scorers, super effective skaters. And look at him doing the job. He gets them now. He gets them where he wants them. He's got a control. He's got the weight. And you'll see him take them both down. And he figures his job is done. But no, these are two jumping jacks. They're right back on him. And he starts to go to work on him again. And now you'll see Mr. Bill Grove come into your picture. And what a wipeout. And then he not only does that, he comes up to the next man along with Cliff Butler. 4 points for the Bombers. 2 for Gammon, 2 for Roman.
There's a shot at halftime of a very happy Bay Bomber crowd right now. With the score at the end of the first half, the Bay Bombers 28, the Brooklyn Red Devils 25. We'll be back with an interview in just a couple of moments. Hello, I'm Don Drury here at Kezar Pavilion. It's halftime with the score of the Bay Bombers 28 and the Brooklyn Red Devils 25. It's been a powerful series thus far. The Bombers defeated in the last series by the Midwest Pioneers. And Charlie O'Connell, of course, is out of action. You've had a very serious eye injury. And Charlie, we hope to get you back out there very shortly. You're on the infield. Isn't that a little bit dangerous for you as well? I mean, somebody come flying off the infield.
Anything's dangerous. You can walk out in the street and get hit by a car or run over by a bicycle. So it doesn't really make much difference where it is. I'd prefer to be out on the track. I don't like standing in the infield, no, because I see things that are going on that I say, oh, geez, I could have stopped that one, but I don't know.
Doesn't always happen. Your boys are having a rough time against this Brooklyn team, and last season they had a rough time against the Pioneers, and there's a Chief team coming up that is just awesome as well. But this particular team, this Red Devil team, my gracious, they're a big team as well.
They're a very big team, but as we watched the game today with the New York Chief team, they are the largest team in the league right now. They've got 5 guys that are over 225 pounds. They've got the jammers with them that are very strong. So I would say that's the only team right now that I would see, that could really wipe up everybody.
This team coming up, the Chief team, of course, as you said, was the largest that you've seen in probably 25 years of skating. Although you've had other big men in the past that couldn't skate as fast, this is an agile team as well. This Brooklyn team, I don't know, do you expect them to hold up? They haven't played against the Chief team yet, but the Pioneers seem to hold their own very, very close against the team.
Well, watching a game with the Chief team and the Pioneers, the Chiefs started out very strong, bodily, really hurting them. But in the second half of their game, the little man came back on. I think they burned the big guy out. And I think that's going to be the whole thing in a nutshell. It's a matter of shape, is going to be called in this game.
Well, comparing your team with this Chief team, as you were telling me earlier, you think the Chief team is going to be the team to beat in the playoffs this year. How do you think your team stacks up? You're out. Grohl has been injured. Butler's been on and off. He's injured. It's a rough way to go. I noticed you picked up Ronnie Turbin as well, too, to try and strengthen out.
Well, it's one thing about the Bomber team. We don't have to worry about a valuable man at one time. If I'm not out there, Butler jumps in. If Butler ain't out there, Grohl jumps in. We've got everybody on our team that can do everybody's job. So that it really helps us out a lot. We've got everybody in slots that everybody can fill everybody's slot. So where other teams don't even think of it, we do, because we're the ones that usually get knocked around the worst.
Well, Charlie, I want to thank you for stopping and talking with us here at halftime. I know you have to get back into the dressing room for the second half, and congratulations with your team. We hope you do very, very well. Again, from Kezar Pavilion, along with Bay Bomber coach Charlie O'Connell, on behalf of the International Roller Skating League, I'm Don Drury. Thank you for joining us.